A lot of people want to come across as adults and mature. I mean, anybody will find it insulting if you call them a baby. I don't mean baby literally. I mean, how would they feel if I called you immature? Yeah, that feeling that it doesn't sound nice. In this video, I will show you 5 signs that prove or reveal that somebody is a baby in an adult body. Let's get right in.
I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end,
Everybody wants to come across as mature. Like many people want to present themselves as mature, responsible, and composed. Being mature is usually associated with respect, trust, and admiration. Like, this is one reason why people will go to any length to invest in good clothing, nice shoes, nice perfumes, quality hair, and what have you. And it's just really normal. But guess what? We have many good looking people with quality hair who unfortunately are babies in adult bodies. Before we dive in, let me give you a rundown of a few aspects of emotional maturity. We have self awareness, emotional regulation, empathy, ability to take responsibility, resilience, problem solving, accountability, and adaptability. I just want to mention these few because I believe that somehow in in this content, I'll be touching on every aspect of this tip. And by the end of this video, you should decide for yourself if you're mature or still a baby in an adult body. And just for the records, maturity has nothing to do with your age, but with a lot of knowledge and experience. Okay, and I think I should say this before I continue. Being immature or being called a baby in something is not an insult. I'm still a baby at some things too. I'm still a baby at some things I'm learning, and I'm not ashamed to admit it because I believe that growth is not a destination; it's a process. It's a journey that everybody is in, consciously, unconsciously. So no, I'm not insulting anybody. I'm not poking anybody's eye. I'm just stating the obvious. Shall we continue? Yeah. So every time I watch my toddler throw tantrums, it gets clearer to me why God desperately wants us to grow. And yeah, so I'm going to mention only 2 or 3 as time pushes me to mention them. Number one on my list is this: you cannot take no for an answer. Have you seen a child beg for something? They're asking you, but they already have an answer in their heads. They're not expecting you to say no. They only ask you from a place of respect, from a place of decorum, or sometimes from a place of formality. For a child, can I have ice cream is the same as get me a bowl of ice cream. A child believes that the world revolves around them. If I have seen adults who act like this, they believe that the world revolves around them. You know, it's crazy when my daughters come to me asking, Mommy, can we have biscuits? And Mommy, can we have sweets? They're already jumping all over because they already have plans for these snacks. But the moment I say no, you see them throwing tantrums on the floor, you see them hitting their heads on the wall, you see them just crying out loud, and you're wondering, but you just ask me a question, and then they could go ahead to say, Mommy, please say yes. Like they're asking you, but the answer in your head is yes. And there are many adults who behave like this. They cannot take no for an answer. So if this is you, hmm, let's just say you're a child in an adult body. And so you see, this is a very selfish way to think. A child could be all sweet 1 minute and very selfish the next because they live in a small world and because they are not exposed to life yet. They have no idea what terms like empathy and adaptability feel like. However, when kids act in this very annoying fashion, we can tolerate them because we understand that they are babies. Unfortunately, it is not the case when adults act like this. You have been exposed to life, so you should learn to show empathy and learn to adapt. Many marriages today are falling apart because the individuals are babies in adult bodies. A woman, for instance, wants to burn out from work because she does not want to receive no for an answer. Okay, I don't know how to make this clear. I don't know how to make this more clearly. She she desires to rest, but she also has a desire to live an independent life as a married woman. And so, because she does not want to go through that process of having a man say no to her, she rather burns out. She rather burns out working all day, all night, and still having to tender for a little baby. See, this thing that a lot of these 21st century women are doing, you're doing more harm to your body. You're doing more harm to your body. And a man, too, on his own part, believes his position as the leader translates to misbehavior. It's a clear indication that that you just a baby boy just got married. Number two, you cannot take responsibility for your actions. Oh dear. This attribute is so common in workplaces. Like people either run away from responsibilities or they simply refuse to admit that they have erred. I mean, it's nothing. You know, I think this comes from a place of pride because in the mind of the person in question, they are projecting a certain image, an image that projects them as experts in the field or professionals. And see, let me tell you something. It takes a lot of strength to admit a flaw. It takes courage to bear the brunt of whatsoever. That's fearlessness in the real sense. But unfortunately, however, a lot of people want to be seen as angels, as experts who can do no wrong. They are afraid to be seen to be. They are afraid of being vulnerable, because truly, admitting a flaw makes us vulnerable to criticism, judgment, and rejection. When you admit a flaw, the recipient, the people receiving it, the people saying it are either going to criticize you, either they will either criticize you, judge you, or reject you. And many people do not want to go through any of these negative processes. So what do? They hide, they pretend, they do not want to take responsibilities of what they have done. Again, I want to ask this question: why are people crazily seeking validation from the world? Why is that so? Some other reasons could be fear of consequences. Many people are scared of losing their status, relationships, or even opportunities. Some other people just suffer personal insecurities. This is the fear of being seen as inadequate or perfect. Third on my list is pride. Pride is a killer. Like pride, pride kills. Pride, it's a menace that inhibits growth. I'm not happy to say this, but a lot of Christians, loads and loads of Christians are very prideful. My friend once said something very profound. She said pride comes from two extremes, knowledge and ignorance. Can you imagine? Just imagine. We need to always maintain a healthy balance. If you desire to grow, you must maintain a learning posture. Don't ever believe for a second that you know so much, because the more you know, the more you realize how much you don't know. So it simply means that when you think you know, it just reveals your level of ignorance. It reveals your level of ignorance. And let me just say this for the record: humility is not the same as timidity or shyness. When the Bible speaks against pride, or when I'm speaking against pride, we're simply advocating for humility. And humility has nothing, it does not have the semblance of timidity or shyness. It takes a hard posture to let you see how your limitations can make you to let you see your limitations, and this makes you teachable regardless of whose wisdom you have to glean from. Let's run a quick test in case of those who are thinking, no, there's no atom of pride in me. No, 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 no. Okay, let's run this quick test. Do you sometimes feel this sense of self-importance, especially when you're around people of a lower caliber? Okay, let me bring it down. Maybe like the security guy at the gate, the cleaner at your office, or the one in your home. How do you react? How do you relate to these people? Do you sometimes feel like you're higher than these people because of the advantages that they do not have? Okay, let's go to the other category. Do you sometimes feel entitled to special treatments or privileges because of your rank? Maybe as a senior person in your office, as a superior colleague, do you sometimes feel like some special treatment should be given to you? Do you also disregard other people's opinions because you think that yours is always better? Do you believe you are you are morally superior to other people? Some people in gatherings you rather stay isolated due to an inflated sense of self-importance. These attributes only portray you as a baby. It takes humility to be a great person because you would have to master the art of building healthy relationships with people. Ask any successful entrepreneur that you know. A huge part of their success comes from building healthy relationships with people and not about how knowledgeable they are in their field. If you really want to grow into maturity, decide today to embrace anonymity and humility. Humility will put you in a place where you are constantly learning because you will never for a second see yourself as superior to other people. If you're still watching, it means you liked the video. How about you give this video a thumbs up? Or better still, share with your friends, share with everybody in your contact list, and let me know how you feel. I want to see, I love to read comments. I want to know how you feel about it, what you want me to talk about in my next video. Until then, see you in the second part series of this video. Bye for now.